I love this framing. I feel so powerful. Do you know what I feel like? Ursula.
Don't steal my voice. Don't steal my voice.
What do you mean?
She stole Ariel's voice.
Ah, okay, let's do a thing. Ready? Say don't steal my voice again.
Don't steal my voice.
Hi sweet peas, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on this Thursday video. Sorry I didn't put a vlog up earlier on today. I have lost my voice. I still don't actually have my voice fully, and so it'll be a double vlog next week, but forget all of that and get your game face on, because today I have a little quiz for you. As you guys know, Jamie and I are getting married, and so this is going to be like a little bit spammy, this channel, with a few different wedding bits. If you don't like it, lump it, alright? But yes, we did just book our date, and if you know me at all, you will know that I research things to the nth degree before making a decision. And amongst all of this wedding crap, because let's be real, there is so much of this stuff, it is like crazy overwhelming and very capitalist. I came across some very interesting statistics. Now I love research and I love statistics. I think it's really important to keep track of what everyone else is doing in these kind of situations, because it's useful to kind of benchmark and get inspired by other ideas and see that actually, you know, there are different ways to do things. And also I'm just nosy, so it's really nice to see what everyone else is doing. And so the lovely Bridebook and also Hitched have both done different wedding surveys. The surveys interviewed hundreds, thousands of couples, and this is only in the UK. But still, it could give you a really great insight if you're abroad anyway, but great insight about different couples and their spending habits and also their wedding practices and how they did stuff. You can go and take a look at the actual surveys and the responses if you like. I will leave the links somewhere downstairs. But alternatively, you can stick around because I have taken the highlights and I've turned them into a little quiz for you. Ha ha ha. Who's the guy that does Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
It used to be Chris Tarrant, but I think it's not Jeremy Clarkson.
Call me Chris Tarrant. Did he have a catchphrase?
No.
Oh.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Who wants to be a wedding knowledge-y person? Yay! Okay, so essentially I've formulated many questions based on the survey responses. I'll ask the question and stick it here, and then with my very limited graphic knowledge, so don't expect too much, I will put some answers here and you guys can decide. I'll give you 3 seconds to make an answer. You can pause the video if you want to discuss it with a friend or whatever, and then you think which one's right and I will let you know which one is actually right with another really crappy graphic. Okay, are you ready? The first and the biggest one. What is the average wedding cost in the UK? Are we going for A, £10,000, B, £40,000, or C, £30,000? The average wedding cost, and this blew my mind, is £30,000. It's exactly £30,355 according to Bridebook and £32,000 according to Hitched. Are you looking like shocked? Jamie's like, what? I know, right? It blows my mind that people actually spend that much. Well, that is what we would say, but we also have to say, and it's true, each to their own. This might be like a really big deal for some people and they might like love the idea of spending lots of money on a wedding. So if you are one of those people planning to spend loads of money on a wedding or have spent loads of money on a wedding, no judgment. It's not what we would do, but you do you. The only advice that I would give Mummy Shaaba is coming out is just don't spend beyond your means. Like, I've read so many articles from people who've been like, oh, I had these huge lavish weddings and I thought they'd be really good, but actually it's put our marriage off to a bad start because it means that we've been in debt and it's caused so much tension and it just didn't seem worth it in the long run. So not me saying it, just from what other people are saying, just spend within your means. You'll be happier out in the long run. More facts for you. This average wedding cost figure has gone up on average by 12% each year. So it's 12% higher than it was last year. So this means that next year it will be £38,500. That will be the average wedding cost. How insane is that? How insane is that?
Wait, so it's going up 12% each year?
Each year.
But inflation isn't 12% each year.
I know. It's because it's capitalist and it's big money and people know that they can charge things because people will pay because a wedding's the most important day in your life, apparently. In particular, venue hire has increased by 24%. Food and drink by 23%, and the same survey shows that even if you don't have every single type of supplier, so that 30,000 figure is based on having like a videographer, entertainment, like everything you could have, without every single supplier, just the basics, the average cost is still £18,000. That's a lot of money.
People must spend a lot on the venue. That's what I think it will be.
Well, Funny you say that, because Hitched say that 28% of the average costs are on venue hire, 22% is on a honeymoon, and the other expenses are food, rings and drink, the other big expenses. Also, fun fact about money, because this is like something that we've been talking about, 45% of couples got contributions from the groom parents, 62% got contributions from the bride's parents, and 82% of couples paid at least part of their wedding costs from their own savings. In this day and age, I feel like it's like we just expected to pay everything ourselves. I know back in the day, like when our parents talk about weddings, they wouldn't be expected as the couple to pay for anything. It would always be, in the Asian family, I think it's the bride's parents that pay for everything.
Same in British culture.
Anyway, my point is, I don't think it's unsurprising that 82% of people, mind you, that 18% are quite lucky. So there you go, that is the big question on venue costs. Are you ready for the next one? It's all about honeymoons. What would you say is the most popular honeymoon destination? Is it A, Asia, B, Africa, or C, America? Go on, Jamie, what do you think?
Asia.
Ding, ding, ding! Asia is correct. The most popular place to honeymoon is Asia, and 22% of people have both a honeymoon and a mini-moon. For those of you who don't know, Jamie's looking really excited because he really wants a mini-moon. A mini-moon is basically, so traditionally you would go to your honeymoon straight after the wedding, like literally straight after. And normally honeymoons were really big affairs, so you go abroad and do like really big things, right? Like Asia, if you're from the UK. But nowadays it's common practice to have a mini-moon, which means a few days or directly after your wedding you go on a tiny, less expensive thing that you could afford in a nearer place, and then afterwards, once you've saved up money, you then go for a big honeymoon like 6 months later or something. Okay, next question. Ready? What is the most popular venue choice for a wedding? Is it A, a country house, B, a hotel, or C, a barn?
I think where we are,
A flag just fell.
it would probably be a barn.
The
It's
national average.
probably a country house.
The correct answer is a barn. All around,
damn it.
it is a barn. We have had such issues with this. I love the aesthetic of a barn wedding, but it's just not very us. Like, we like light and modern, whereas barns are very old school and traditional. I kind of wish we could have like just multiple weddings. The design person in me wants to have multiple weddings so we could experience having all of these different ones. But yeah, anyway, 28% of couples in the UK got married in barns last year. Hotels and country houses were very close behind though. Okay, we are now moving away from venues. Ready? What is the average age that a woman and a man, because those are the stats that are in here, I'm not trying to exclude anyone, what are the average ages to marry? You're really into this now. Jamie was just supposed to be here working behind the camera, but I was like, okay. Is it A, 23, I'm gonna go for, B, 28, or C, 32? 32. Ding, ding, ding! You are correct. For a woman, it's 31, and for men, it's 32.
That seems really old.
I know, it
But
surprises
not that
me
it's
too.
not
It's not that it's
old.
bad, just
No,
because
it just
all
seems
of
a
our
lot.
friends seem to get married younger, and I
Yeah.
just assumed that more people would get married younger. Okay, ready? What is the average number of guests that people invite to their wedding? Oh, and when I say guest numbers, I'm going to base it on the evening ones, so everyone that you invite. A, 70 guests. B, 100 guests. Or C, 150 guests. Go on, Jamie.
150.
That is incorrect.
It's smaller.
Yes.
Like, so people are spending on average over £30,000 for 100 people.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, I'm just saying, the more people you have, it really hikes up the cost.
Yeah. The average number of day guests, so these are people that come to your entire wedding and see everything from the ceremony through, which makes it more expensive because they have to eat 2 meals and also have drinks and that sort of thing, is 82 day guests. And the average number of evening guests is 106.
Oh, wow.
I love this commentary. I'm sorry, it might be a little bit weird having Jimmy behind the camera. This is so unplanned, but this is fun.
Wow.
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 Wow. We're sticking with the numbers. Are you ready? What is the average number of bridesmaids and groomsmen? Is it A, 2 bridesmaids and 2 groomsmen? Is it B, 4 bridesmaids and 3 groomsmen? Or is it C, 6 bridesmaids and 4 groomsmen? Go.
B.
And that is correct. The average number of bridesmaids is 4 and the average number of groomsmen is 3. Fun fact, 25% of people had over 5 bridesmaids.
That's a lot of bridesmaids.
It is. And that will also hike the cost up, right?
A lot
Because
of dresses to buy.
yeah, I have 3 bridesmaids.
Yes, but
And 3 flower girls.
It's because you've got a lot of sisters, you have to kind of incorporate them all in an important way.
My 3 eldest sisters are bridesmaids, my 2 twinnies are flower girls, and my 1 cousin Emmy is also a flower girl.
Chief flower.
Chief flower girl. Now we're moving on to durations. How long does it take to plan a wedding as a national average? Is it A, 6 months? Is it B, 9 months? Or is it C, 12 months? I should also say, because I don't want to like give them away with funny numbers, I will, when I give you these figures, it's the one that's closest to, right? These aren't the actual figures, I'll then tell you the actual figures. 9 months.
Yeah. 12.
It's the closest, it's actually longer. So the average is 13 months. The average couple from deciding to actually doing their wedding took 13 months to plan.
Longer than gestation.
3% of people arranged their wedding in under 3 months. And fun fact, people are together on average 4 years before they get engaged.
Engaged?
Mm-hmm. That was last year's figures. People reported being together 4 years before they got engaged. For us, it took us 5.
Nearly 6.
Yeah, but 5.
It was 2 months off being 6. It's closer to 6.
Yeah,
and
but
when
5.
we get married, it would be just under 9.
That's a long time. How have I not killed you yet?
How have I not killed you?
Okay, where is the most expensive place to get married for us Brits? Is it A, Scotland, B, London, C, the Midlands, D, Northern Ireland, or E, abroad? I don't know what happened there.
No.
I am a mime stuck in a box. Go on.
It's going to be London or abroad.
Partly
London.
really right and partly really wrong. It is London.
Yeah.
Where the average cost is 31,837 in comparison to that's with the bridebook survey, so where the average is 30, so it's 1,000 extra for London. And the second most expensive place is Scotland, coming in at £19,791.
But that's still significantly cheaper. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Surprisingly though, the cheapest places to marry are Northern Ireland at £12,738 and abroad at £14,151. I really would have thought that would have been the most expensive place, unless you were eloping, then there's obviously just 2 and like no big
It
faff.
also depends on where you go and whether that is factoring ticket
Yeah, do you ask your guests to pay
Because like if
to
you're
come?
going to like the Seychelles to get married on a beach, your plane tickets alone are going to be a hefty cost, but then you're not going to have a hefty venue cost because I don't know, I thought it would be reasonably expensive.
Yeah, I
to go
wouldn't have
somewhere
considered it
far.
would be the cheapest, which it is. If any of you had abroad weddings, please let us know how that works. Also, fun fact, in terms of overspending, they've provided the stats on nationalities, identities. Don't rip me for this, I don't know how that would work. Essentially, the Welsh are more likely to overspend by 46% in comparison to the national average.
The Welsh?
The Welsh, yeah. And Scots are the least likely to go over budget and are 33% lower than the national UK average.
Us Scots, we're good at stuff.
I know, Jamie's Scots ways and my Asian ways. We are going to be saving those pennies. Hefty stereotype, but in our case it really is quite true. Okay, now to the next section, which I think is quite important, so that's why I would like to bring it up. The idea of sustainability. Now we all know we don't treat the world as well as we should. We treat it very badly, in fact. But how many couples last year considered sustainability when it came to their big day? Is it A, 25% of couples considered it when arranging, B, 40% of couples, or C, 60% of couples?
A low number.
It's actually the middle number.
Okay.
39% of couples considered sustainability when planning their wedding.
We did, didn't we?
You say did as if it's happened. We're still planning, and yes, we are still considering the
Oh yeah,
environment.
no, but we already have with like our first choice.
Yeah. Ready? How many people DIY'd their own decorations and favours? And I just want to point out there, yes, it's sustainability, but I'm pretty sure most of the people that will be doing this is because it's fun to DIY stuff and cheaper to DIY stuff as opposed to sustainability. Though that's also a misconception. Apparently things are not as cheap to DIY as you think they are. We'll get into that later with our own experiences. So how many people DIY'd their own favours and decorations? Is it A, 25%, B, 50%, or C, 75%?
25.
52%.
Oh, we're going to be in the minority then.
We'll DIY some stuff.
I hate DIY.
I love DIYing stuff. I'm so excited to put up all the blog posts. How many brides, this was an interesting stat that I didn't even realise was a consideration, chose dresses for their wedding day that they plan on wearing again? Right, is it A? Bless you. 15%. You're going to sneeze again. B, 20%, or C, 25%? 20%. It was 16%. So closer to 15. I just don't want to give one exact number because then I'll mess up the other numbers and then you know what it is.
I kept going for low ones. I was like, no, it's not going to be the lowest. She won't have done that.
That's why I'm trying to mix it up,
I would have said it would be barely anybody.
Yeah, but 16%, I that was, yeah, higher than I thought too. I would love the idea of doing it, but I'm so conflicted because I also know that I want like a proper wedding dress. Then I'm like, when would you wear your wedding dress again? Though, I have heard from our sister-in-law that there are these events where you go with other brides. They're like wear the dress again parties, so you go just to wear the dress again, like, and re-experience things. Not for me, but fun for some people. So if you're into that, check out your local wedding venues because I'm sure they'll do something like that. But yeah, that includes the sustainability questions. I do think it's really important to consider the environment in everything we do. I am the first person to admit that I don't do it enough. Seriously, I'm not trying to be like all preachy, but you know, even really small things we can't really do it. So like for example with the RSVPs, you can actually reduce a lot of paper. You can do it online and that saves a lot of postage in terms of fees, so it brings the cost down too. But if you do still want to do paper ones, you can always use recyclable paper. Okay. The next portion of the quiz, and the final big portion of the quiz, is in traditions. How many dads were asked permission before proposals? Jimmy's like, is it A, 32%, B, 56%, or C, 79%?
56.
Correct, it was 56%. Jamie did, and I love you for it. And you also asked my mum, didn't you?
Yeah.
Jamie also said there were terrifying experiences, but I will let him go into that because I'm sure that's something you'll want to talk about at some point. How many couples got married in a church last year? Is it A, 25%, B, 50%, or C, 75%? Go on, Jamie.
50.
Nope, it was actually 27%. So if you chose 25, you were closer. You got it right. You just gave me the finger. 27% though, in a church. I really would have thought it would be more.
Yeah, because also churches, from what I've heard, are quite booked.
45% got married in the reception venue. So they didn't have a separate venue for their ceremony than they did for the whole day. That's what we're doing. Okay, ready? How many brides wore white on their wedding day? Is it A, 11%, B, 55%, or C, 88%?
Does it include things like ivory and
Yeah.
the cream and the slightly off? Okay.
Yeah.
The highest one then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed, it was 89% did, but 11% did not wear white for their wedding, which is actually higher than I thought it would be.
They wore green.
I don't know, I would have just thought that that number would be like 3% or something. Okay, are you ready? How many...
Can a woodchuck chuck a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Sorry, I was rephrasing my question. Okay, you ready for the final question? How many couples took their partner's last name? Is it A, 60%, B, 70%, or C, 80%? Jamie?
The middle one.
70%. It was actually 80%.
Oh.
Jamie said 70. 80% of couples took their partner's name. Only 4% of grooms changed their name to match their partner's.
4%?
Of the 80.
4%? Mm-hmm. Is that it?
And 2% of couples blended their names together to create a new one. What would ours be if we did that?
Roten.
Lanes.
Lanes isn't bad.
I like that. Lowton,
Shaaba
Rains.
Lanes.
Oh. No, doesn't sound good.
Jamie Lanes.
Loanes. Rayton.
Rayton. No.
Sounds like writer. I don't know if that 2% includes double barreling, because it's blending your names together to become one, to be honest. So perhaps it is, in which case we really are going to be in the minority because that's what we plan on doing. We're going to be Shaaba and Jamie Lowton Rains. Yay! So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that quiz. I have some extra fun facts that I didn't want to make the video too long, so I'm not going to do them in quiz form, but I still think are really interesting to tell you. I'm looking at my laptop, by the way, in case you wonder why I'm staring at my crotch all the time. Okay, so the most common gifts to be asked for. Does that make sense? Gifts to be asked for? Gifts that couples ask for.
Requested.
There you go. The most common gift type requested. Thank you, Jamie. 82% of people did not use a gift list. I'm actually not surprised now because we weren't considering a gift list, but I remember in all the movies that we used to watch growing up, I'd be like, I want to do that. Like, they go in the shops and they have these things and they beep things in a shop, and I remember doing that with someone for one of our family weddings. 52% of people asked for honeymoon contributions, and 20%, which is actually really high, asked for charitable contributions as gifts for their wedding, which is something that I hadn't even considered. So that's actually really cute. And I think we should do that. See, this is what I mean. It's so cool to look at stats because I didn't even think that that would be a thing that you could do. Obviously it makes sense, but you don't really know until you see other people do it, so yay. Second fun fact, 25% of couples had a wedding website and 24% of couples had a wedding hashtag. I definitely think we should do a wedding hashtag. That should be so fun. You might think it's like a real millennial thing to do, but actually it's really cool because if so many people are posting themselves having a good time, if they tag it, then when you look back on it, then you can be like, oh hey, these are all the posts that people had at our wedding, so you can see everyone. It's just a good way to like keep in touch without having to search for every single person and the social media platform, you know? So definitely consider doing that. And you know, you don't have to be like a creator to use a hashtag. Just create one. They could be really fun. We should create a fun hashtag for ours. What should ours be? We'll have a think about it. Hey, if you guys have any ideas, pop them down below. We might use one. Interestingly, 30% of couples asked all guests to not post on social media on their special day. Okay, fun fact number 3. The most popular wedding date is the 9th of September and the 26th of August. Did anyone here get married on those dates? If you did, let me know. That's so cool. And the most popular days were Saturdays, obviously, in July, August and September. No surprise there. Just in case you guys don't know how the whole wedding planning thing works, Saturdays in that high season hike the prices up so high. Fun fact number... I've lost count. Another fun fact for you. How many guests could bring a +1? 50% of couples allowed their guests to bring a +1. And 16% of couples had pets present at their wedding. Jamie's now looking really sad because he wants a dog. In one sense, I love the idea of having a pet for a wedding because it looks really cute, but in the other sense, you're just like, who would look after that pet? That poor person that has the responsibility to look after that pet. And what if they like peed or pooped down the aisle? Like, that would not be a good look. And final fun fact, 20% of couples chose to see each other the morning of the wedding.
No, I don't want to see the morning before.
Ah, you said that like, no, I don't want to see you. No. I also don't want to see you, for a cute traditional kind of thing.
I'm looking forward to the, I've said the moment I'm looking forward to most is when I first see you coming down the aisle.
That will be fun. I'll be pooping myself. But there you go, a wedding quiz. I hope you enjoyed this as a video. I thoroughly enjoyed making that, and I really enjoyed you being here too, Jamie. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more. I will catch you with a double vlog on Monday, hopefully with a better voice. Actually, my voice hasn't been too bad this video, right? I hope you've been able to hear me. Has this mic been plugged in? Be kind and have a great day. Bye.